Hi, Mime. So sorry.
Hello, Ferla. It's so good to see you. I'm so grateful that you could make it this time.
Yeah. I'm sorry about last time. I totally forgot, actually. Yeah.
Well, it happens. Well, but here today, you're here, and I'd love to know what you'd like to be focusing in on.
Yeah. So, okay. Even though this doesn't seem to be a problem today, I'm actually really worried about my energy and motivation. So even when so normally I'm like, um, caffeinated, like a lot. So that reminds me, actually. Hang on, sorry. I just have to write down. I need to get coffee. This is like the third day that I forgot. So John is having to go to get me coffee, but it's like, and that's probably why actually, because it is way more caffeinated than what I'm used to drinking. Anyways, so what I'm noticing is that even though I'm kind of hyped up on coffee, my motivation is like decreasing, and this is a problem because there's so much to do. Like I need the energy, you know?
Mhm.
So, and it's also weird because I'm noticing that like I'm having a hard time getting out of bed. That's new.
Hmm.
So, maybe I'll just have John bring me some coffee to bed. That's a good idea. I'll have to remind John to do that. So that would probably help. So, I don't know. It's like coming home from work, I'm really tired and I've been like getting delivery, which is not like me at all. Furla's like, I mean, John Furla. John is like, "Hey Furla, what's up, girl?" Kind of thing. And I don't know. I've just been getting this. And so it's a little bit, so, I haven't met up with my ladies group in like 3 weeks now. I do a lot, but there's always more. But that's just community mental health, say la vie, me, May. So I don't know. Even when the day is over, I feel like I should still be doing things. And it's like that old pink dunk in the thunk doesn't want to slow down, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I just get a little worked up, but that's like how my mom was. I think I got that. She's the original Miss VanTangles. She was a feisty one, So I think I just have a lot of that.
Well, I really appreciate you sharing this, Ferla. It seems like, again, based on our conversations in the past and kind of what you're touching on here, that there's some things that really haven't been changing. And I wanted to ask you just a couple more questions, just so I can understand more about what's going on. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, sure.
Well, my big first one out of the gate is that when you sit down to work, how hard or easy is it to tell what deserves your attention first?
Oh, I don't know. That's a great question. Everything is important. And now I have this really sweet and wonderful new to the field therapist who is so energetic and eager and enthusiastic, but anxious. And I just love working with her because she kind of reminds me of myself. And it's just nice to see her more capable, you know?
Hmm. Are you, just out of curiosity, her supervisor?
Oh no, I just like to help out,
Hmm.
It's just nice to see kind of like fresh energy,
Hmm. Hmm. So back to our questions here. The next one that I have for you is, do you ever feel like you're carrying concerns simply because you can see them, or just even if they're not yours?
Oh yeah. I'm like gifted with that. John is always like, Verla, there's no one like you. But and I don't know that it's true, but I think it's cute. He's always saying stuff like this. There's just so much potential for things to go wrong. I'm always just trying to anticipate what's going on. So
Hmm.
yeah, I don't know. I just kind of do what's in front of me or like next to me, or like in the next office, that kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and
Gotcha.
yesterday I was in this staff meeting and it was the most tense meeting I've ever been in. So I want to circle back with those folks because I know some of them are really struggling. Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry. Will you excuse me? Um, Hi, Jan. Yes. Uh-huh. Okay, I'll swing by after work and pick that up for you, okay? All right. Yes, of course, no problem. Bye-bye. So that's Jan. She's my elderly neighbor. She's so sweet. She has like 5 children, but they all are like super busy and they all live like 10 miles away. And I'm right next door, so I don't mind doing it. but like the thing that she actually needs is like in the next town. Anyways, okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hmm. Well, this kind of again just dovetails very nicely into the next question about like, do you ever feel like you have an off switch? Because it sure seems like you're taking on a lot of responsibility everywhere you go.
An off switch? No, there's no off switch, Mime. I mean, there's no off switch with life. I wish there was. That would be amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so let's kind of switch gears a little bit. So
Okay.
when you try to relax, when you
Mhm.
get home, what do you do to relax and what happens in your mind?
Oh, what do I do to relax? I don't really, I mean, what do I do to relax? Well, when I'm relaxed, I'm just sleeping, I think, you know? So John would actually really love this question because he's always telling me, relax, Ferla, you know, but my mind just keeps going and going and going. So like if it's getting later and I'm about to go to bed and I'm, you know, my head's about to hit the pillow, I can be out just like that. Sometimes even before I get to bed, I'm out like that. But then I don't know, lately I've not even been able to sleep, and this makes the whole thing like this gets way in the way. This is not helping
Right,
anything. Yeah,
right. So, what kind of support do you think would actually help you right now?
that's a good question. I mean, my supervisor tells me to go on vacation. Come on. I mean, he doesn't even go on vacation. So I really don't know. That's why I'm here.
Uh-huh. Well, to recap, I've heard you talk about again just the the sheer amount of responsibility that you feel like you have to respond to on a daily basis,
Yes.
whether it's
So
in the
much.
office or outside of the office. Um, you definitely are certainly a competent and capable of and effective,
That's true.
person.
Everybody says that. And that's what
Um,
it's kind of nice, you know, because then I know I'm doing a good job. But anyways, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
right, right. And, but I also observe that you're a fixer at heart. You want to be able to help other people out and support them. And, this often, kind of makes it a little challenging with boundaries and stuff like that. So,
The
oh, does that kind of surmise some of the things that we've definitely been talking on these last few sessions?
Yes, and it's been really helpful. I'm very, very thankful
Good.
for your willingness to listen to me and help me figure all this out.
Well, this kind of brings me to my next point, Ferla. I think I have an idea of what you might be dealing with. Are you curious about what my assessment is?
Yeah.
It's something that we call lane adjacency disorder, or LAD. Do you know what that is?
I've never heard of that. Lane adjacency disorder. Like
Mhm.
adjacency, like next to. You mean next to, like
Right.
lanes that are next to mine.
That's correct. When you kind of think about different roles and responsibilities that kind of have their own different separate lanes, um, what I'm observing is you tend to drift on over into not only the next lane, but kind of go across the whole freeway, if you know what I mean.
Okay. So I'm not staying out of the lane next to mine.
No, you're not, Ferla. You're all over the place. That's
Well,
what we call lane adjacency disorder.
uh-huh.
And in fact, I have a really great video that I feel I should send you so that when we get together during our next session, I'd love it if you take a look at this, take some notes, and let's talk about this further to see if you connect with any of the themes that are included in this